You know, when I look back, I've always been a pretty healthy eater. At least I thought I was eating healthily. And I did some things that related to keep your sugar levels normal, not to have spikes, low carb, low fat, no carb, no fat, all of those. And I had short-term results that sometimes were pretty good, but I considered them to be unsustainable and pretty much what I was calling hit and run dieting. What I'm excited about with Lumen is that it is sustainable. You don't have to starve yourself. It's very personalized. And I love the way that it takes state-of-the-art science, state-of-the-art technology, and personalized nutrition, puts it in a package that is really very comfortable, and it's worked for me. What piqued my interest about starting with Lumen is that I've seen so many diets that are prescribed that sound like they have hard science behind them, but when I look at them more deeply, they really don't. With Lumen, it is so specifically based on understandings not only of nutrition, but also of microbiome and other kinds of things which are state-of-the-art science, and that was what really interested me the most. The second piece that I thought was very unique was a non-invasive measuring of the burning of carbs and the burning of fats. And I didn't know until the Lumen time that actually you could measure it through your breath. I began the Lumen journey about 6 months ago. In the first, I would say, 10 weeks, first 2.5 months, I dropped about 15 pounds. Let me say a word about what was so surprising to me. At first, I didn't drop the weight so quickly, and I was concerned about that. But then I looked at not the measure of weight, but the measure of inches, and I lost a couple of inches on my waist. People were commenting that my face looked thinner, my energy was high, and so I realized that the weight loss was really only one of the measures. And then that 15 pounds or so, I've been between 15 and 20 loss, then I went to maintain that. And what I love about the sustainability of the diet, of this Lumen journey, is that I'm able not to starve myself, but I go through a cycle which I control personally. I love the fact that it's a non-invasive measure. It's very easy to take the breathing each morning. I do it pretty religiously, and I find that by making a contract with myself, that the results are just happening. I also love the fact that I don't need to record or photograph everything I ate. I don't need to make some detailed journal, but the results each day, again, speak for themselves. I start each morning, I actually wake up about 5 o'clock, 5:30 each morning, and I have long days. So now my routine is that I begin taking the breath measurement each morning when I wake up, before I have done anything, before I have anything to drink, anything to eat, before I exercise. The breathing has been very, very simple because it interfaces with the iPhone, and I couldn't imagine anything easier. I do the 3 breaths, I have my rhythms down, and it's pretty much foolproof. I've found that each morning I am pretty curious to see what the number will be on my iPhone when it takes that breath measurement, and I love seeing if it's a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, because I guess in my head each morning what it will be. When I get the measurement and it tells me how many carbs I can eat that day, then for me, I follow that. So I'm really excited when it's going through the carb store filling or the carb store depletion. I have to admit that I love the high carb measurements when I'm allowed to do that. But as I said, there really is never a time where I feel I'm starving myself. I feel that I'm a partner in this science-based approach, and that really means a lot to me. As I was looking at some of the unique features of the Lumen journey and the Lumen approach, one thing that struck me is that I feel that there's something called the killer app. And the killer app is when you have a product that can deliver on something where you could say, if I could tell you this and it would be true, would you want to try it? Would you buy it? And so the killer app for Lumen for me is if someone said, if you could take control of your own life, of your own health, and you would be guaranteed that it will make you healthier, feel better, better energy, and it's not something that's going to work for a week or two or even for a few months, but it's going to be a lifestyle change. Would you do it? That, for me, was what interested me. And I believe now, having been on this for more than half a year, and I have to say it feels like only a few months, that it has changed the way that I eat, but not in an intrusive way. It's just very natural. And I feel that I'm getting toward my own optimal weight. I'm not competing with anybody else. It's being the best me that I can be. When we speak specifically about the food and planning the day, when I get the number of carbs that's prescribed for me in that day, there are two things that were news to me. The first one is I used to eat fruit instead of other things because I thought, oh, if I have, I wasn't the, in terms of the food, one big learning for me was, I know there's this saying you're supposed to eat an apple a day, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I was eating 3 apples a day and probably 2 oranges and a banana, and I was that fruit person. When I looked at what the carb measurement was for those fruits because of the high sugar content, I realized that I was actually putting weight on from that, even though they were natural sugars. And so I changed that and started to substitute with fats and protein. And it was a big surprise to me that that's been one of the keys, I'm sure, to my weight loss and my energy levels. Maybe the thing that I love most about using Lumen is that it's private and that it's easy. It's portable. So I do a lot of traveling in my work, and the ability to take what I call the breathalyzer with me, and just to be able to start in a hotel room or whatever, it's so easy. And it's my, again, contract with myself. It's totally private. Nobody needs to know about it. No one sees it. They just see the results. In my work, I'm deeply immersed in the world of science, and I see how rapidly the advances are coming. With Lumen, what I found is that when we talk about the advances in medicine, understandings of our body, and also the whole field of nutrition, that I think it's really important that we're able to take charge of our lives with prevention rather than with drug discovery. And I want to just be very specific on what I'm saying. The idea that we can become healthier on what I call a pre-need basis, healthier without any medicines being prescribed, without any drugs or new drugs being discovered. This is about using what is available to everybody and just using it in the right way. And so I see this in this terms of science, that it's a great breakthrough, because put in the hands of the common man and woman, that everybody can get the results that they want, again, without a medical model. And I love the idea that this is, to me, not medical, it is scientific. If I were asked would I recommend Lumen to others, the answer would be absolutely yes, and then the full answer would be, and I have. And so many people have asked me, what are you using? What are you doing? And I tell them, and they want to sign up right away, and I tell them that they can, but what is most unique about this system, I always say that there are three things that make it unique. The first one is that it is based on state-of-the-art science. The second is that it is state-of-the-art technology, easy with the iPhone, user-friendly. And the third is that it is personalized nutrition. And so those three together, I believe, are great selling points, and I recommend it to everybody.